YouTube, what's going on? It's Jamar here, Vegas Sense. This video is going to be a collab video. It's going to be my first collab video, and we're doing this video with a really great guy, Phil, over there at Dr. Fragrance. So definitely go ahead and check out his channel. Again, it's called Dr. Fragrance. If you're not subscribed to his channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also, check out some of his videos, like the videos, comment, and again, subscribe. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, do the same, all right? So this particular video here, what we're doing is we're just doing our, we're doing 5 fragrances that are like the longest lasting in our collection. Obviously, I have more than 5 fragrances that are super long lasting. But we're just gonna focus on these in this video. Also, make sure you check out his video as well. He's gonna have 5 of his fragrances. Any of these fragrances that you're interested in and maybe have never heard of or not familiar with, definitely go ahead and check them out, all right? So to start off the video here, my number 5 pick is gonna be Versace Eros. This one is definitely a fragrance that I think anybody who is maybe starting a fragrance collection or just really wants, you know, compliments from the opposite sex, definitely this is the one to get. Versace Eros. It's gonna last you at least 10 to 12 hours. You can't really ask for much more out of a designer fragrance. So again, that one is Versace Eros at number 5. All right, so at number 4, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Initio's Rehab. And I have a picture over here for Initio Rehab. Initio Rehab is pretty much, it smells like Spice Bomb, but a lot more refined. In my opinion, it does smell better than Spice Bomb, all right? So if you're familiar with Spice Bomb, you pretty much, you know what this smells like. If not, it's pretty much sort of like a sweet, spicy tobacco type of scent, all right? Initio Rehab though, this one gives me at least about 10 to 12 hours or so of longevity. And it never really turns into like a weak skin scent on me. This definitely, you smell it, I would say, throughout that entire time, all right? So again, at number 4, that's Initio Rehab. All right, at number 3, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Alexandria Fragrances 1981X. All right, so 1981X, this is their interpretation of Xerjoff's Naxos. Naxos is pretty much like a sweet tobacco scent. It also has a little bit of floral aspect to it as well. This particular fragrance is a compliment monster, and it also is a beast mode performer. Projects pretty heavily, I would say, for about the first 3.5 hours or so, maybe even longer. And it never ever really becomes a skin scent on me anyway. This one, I get well over 14 hours with this one. This is definitely gonna be an all-day fragrance where you spray it on once and you're good to go for the entire rest of the day, all right? So definitely no need to refresh with this one. All right, so again, at number 3, that's Alexandria Fragrances 1981X. At number 2, we're gonna go ahead and go with Versace Hawass. So Hawass is pretty much, it's basically like Invictus and Invictus Aqua sort of mixed together. It has a really, really nice, fresh, aquatic, it's like a sweet aquatic ambergris type smell to it. This one is really, really nice, and it performs beastly in the summer hot weather. You can technically wear this one all year round because it does have a spicy element to it as well. It's got like some cinnamon in the note breakdown, but this is definitely best to be worn in the summer. All right, this one, no matter how hot it is, the heat will not kill this fragrance at all. It really just makes it stronger, honestly. And you're looking at least 12 to 14 hours in high heat, all right, with this fragrance. So this is also going to be another one of those all-day fragrances that you wear on a super hot day when you know the heat is probably going to kill whatever fragrance you have. Not this one, all right? This one is going to get you throughout the entire day. All right, so again, that one is Rasasi Hawass. And then at number one, this is going to be my longest lasting fragrance that I've experienced out of any fragrance that I've owned so far. And it's actually pretty surprising. This one is Van Cleef & Arpels Orchidee Vanille. So Orchidee Vanille, this one is really, it's a light scent. It's not a scent that projects super beastly. And it's, it's just basically like a orange citrus sort of vanilla scent. But this on my skin almost lasted 24 hours recently. I sprayed this on at like 9 at night one night, and it lasted all the way into about maybe 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. the next day. And that's, after me taking showers, washing my hands, and I sprayed it right here on the back of my hand. So there were plenty of opportunities for this to get washed off, and this one actually made it throughout that entire time. All right. So this stuff, like I said, it's not very beastly in projection, but it lasts for sure. All right. So again, this one is gonna last pretty much almost 24 hours. It's Van Cleef & Arpels Orchidee Vanille. All right. So again, if you're not familiar with some of these fragrances or any of the fragrances that I mentioned on this list, go ahead and check them out. Try to find samples of them. Some of these fragrances you can find in department stores. Some of them you can't. So for the ones that you can't, try to go online and pick up a sample, okay? So again, go ahead and check out Dr. Fragrance's 5 fragrances as well. And if you're not subscribed to his channel or mine, go ahead and do that, all right? So it's Jamar here, Vegas Scents. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Hey guys, I'm Phil from the YouTube channel Dr. Fragrance, and I want to thank Jamar for having me on the channel today. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to talk about 5 fragrances in my collection that are extremely long-lasting and perform really, really well. So without further ado, let's get into it. This list couldn't have been complete without one of my newest acquisitions and one that I really, really enjoy, and that is Fan Your Flames by Nishane. This fragrance smells absolutely amazing. It has coconut, tobacco, rum, combination I wouldn't have really thought of, but it works really well. The coconut is more of a sweet accord that I get in this fragrance that doesn't, to me, come off too much like actual coconut. It does add a nice dimension to a smoky, embery tobacco fragrance that is also quite boozy, and I do love that style of fragrance. This one also performs amazing. So I put 3 sprays on once when I went out, and it is nuclear. I mean, good 6-foot projection, sillage all night, and the longevity on this one is easily 10 hours. So it does last a very long time. It does perform very well. And in all honesty, next time I wear it, I'm probably only gonna go 2 sprays. So this one is a little bit more expensive, but a bottle lasts a very long time because you don't really need a lot of it. So, one I've definitely recently picked up and one I enjoy a great deal. Next on the list is one that I picked up before it was discontinued, and that is Fetish Eau de Parfum. And they recently discontinued a lot of the EDP concentrations, or maybe all of them, when the Parfum Colognes were released. They don't have a Parfum Cologne for Fetish. I'm hoping very much that Roja does decide to do one. I really would like to check that one out. But this is the EDP, and I'm actually going to assume that the Parfum is at least as potent as this one, if not more so. So this one is a animalic leather spicy fragrance. It's very seductive, very sexual, and it does have that animalic edge to it. And this one, like Fan Your Flames, is absolutely nuclear. So this one projects quite a lot for the first 2 or 3 hours, really doesn't become a skin scent, and it lasts and lasts and lasts. Easy 10 hours on this one, and so it does have a very, very good performance. It also has a nice complexity. This changes quite a bit throughout the life of the fragrance, and I do enjoy this one. I really describe this one in the simplest terms possible as describing it as money, because this honestly is very opulent, very luxurious, and it does smell like class and it smells like money. So I do enjoy this one. This is definitely one that for me is a special occasion fragrance, so I don't wear this one a lot. But on those occasions when I want something really luxurious, really special to commemorate the time period, this is what I reach for. The next one on the list is a gourmand fragrance, and there are quite a few that I could have included. I decided only to include one of them, and it's one that I feel is not talked about quite enough in the community, although it is a fantastic fragrance, and that is Rosé All Day by Gallagher Fragrances. This is such a beautiful, luxurious apple pie fragrance. It's syrupy, it's sweet, it's very, very rich, and it has a really beautiful apple crisp note. There's even a steel note in here to sort of represent the pan that the pie is baked in, and it also has patchouli to give it a nice earthy masculine edge. Even though it's not a very dirty patchouli, it is certainly there. This does also have a very interesting plum note. So I do really enjoy this one, and it is beast as well. This is another one I only go about 2 sprays with because it's quite nuclear. The projection for the first few hours is easily going to be a nice 6-foot radius, and it can definitely fill a small room. And this one I get close to 12 hours performance with. It is one that I find after about 8 hours, I go fairly anosmic to it, but every once in a while I'll move around or something and I'll get a whiff of that sillage, and this one is definitely still there. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Absolutely love it. It is just so gorgeous to smell, and I do really like this one. If you love gourmands, I recommend checking this one out for sure. The next one is a leather fragrance that I first heard of on Red Essence's channel. Decided to check it out because it sounded quite interesting. It's actually a little bit gourmandy as well because it does have a note of butterscotch, and that is Saddle by Svensk Parfums. This is one that is very nuclear as well. Nice, luxurious, rich leather that is mixed with a delicious, sweet butterscotch. I appreciate this one because it's also different from the raspberry leather trend, which I really enjoy. I love fragrances like Whittian London and Ombre Leather, 2 of the best leather fragrances ever. This is also a nice, gorgeous rendition and is different, so I do appreciate that. Also, very strong performer. So this does come in a fairly small bottle. I believe it's 30 ml, but this is something that's going to last me a long, long time because it's very, very potent. Again, usually only go about 2 sprays with this one, and it lasts all day. Well, okay, maybe not all day, but this one is definitely pushing on to that 12-hour mark. And very, very nice projection. This is easily one you can wear in the cold, and it does push off the skin even outdoors. So I do enjoy this one a lot. And if you like leather, especially if you like butterscotch, I would recommend checking this out. You can either get samples, I think, at Crystal Fragrances. You can order this direct from the perfumer as well, Svensk Parfums. And at times, depending on what you're ordering, this may be cheaper than Crystal Fragrances. The last fragrance is one I've talked about a lot on my channel, and that is Blackmail by Kerosene. I love Kerosene, huge Kerosene fan. I talk about them a lot. I really like the quality of the fragrances, and I feel for a niche fragrance, the price point for 100 milliliters is quite fair. And this one is a beautiful smoky oud, and it's not a skanky kind of an oud. It's more like the oud that you get in oud wood. So very wearable oud. It just has a bit of a different smell to it than other woods like sandalwood or cedar. So it does smell different. but it also has this beautiful incense note, very prominent, very smoky, and something about the composition makes it smell like it's a little bit embery or smoldering, kind of like a burning wood a little bit. It's only a very subtle bit of a embery quality, but it is there, and I do really enjoy it. And there are also fruits in this one. So it's a dried fruit, I believe, and it adds a bit of sweetness to the composition. So it has a lot of nice qualities. It has woodiness, it has sweetness, and it has a ton of smokiness. Very much enjoy this one. It's definitely oud done a little bit differently, and it lasts forever. This one is an easy 12 hours on my skin. And it does have very good projection as well. 2-3 hours of solid projection. Doesn't really become a skin scent until much, much later. But I just love the way the woodiness is done in this one. I love the way the oud comes across in this one. Definitely not skanky. Very enjoyable, and one that smells different. So I do enjoy this one quite a bit. Anyways, guys, that's my list. Don't forget to subscribe to Dr. Fragrance YouTube channel as well as Vegas Scents for lots of great content. And leave a comment down below. What is your favorite long-lasting fragrance?